Donnie and Dolly. The team is supported by ableauctions.ca. Closing your business? We can help.
Tuesday, and all of our guests today brought to you by our title sponsor, author Jeremy Dodd and Company, Able Auctions, ableauctions.ca. Sam Bennett is going to be representing Team Canada over in Italy at the Olympics, taking the place of the injured Anthony Cirelli. And again, people saying, well, Don, what the heck? What about Sam Bennett? He left that Panthers-Sabres game early yesterday, according to Elliot Friedman, our Elliot Friedman from Hockey Night in Canada. Sam's going to be okay, and he will be getting on that plane Saturday as they head to Milan. Joining us now, TSN Scouting Director Craig Button. Craig, thanks for doing this, sir. How are you?
Oh, I am great. And it's like, so when I say something, usually stupid, but sometimes smart, do you say, I'm your guy? Do you say, like, Craig's our guy? Or do you kind of just go, I can't believe what Craig said?
Well, all we have to do is look at the hat. And yeah, Craig, you're our guy.
Our guy.
It's official. Toque, baseball hat, it's all there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
All weather. I mean, it's warm here. I'll be skiing on Thursday. It's just been beautiful weather, and the snow has been great. So can't wait to get out on the slopes Thursday.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, the weather's been great here in Vancouver back in July and August. Craig, you heard the news we just talked about here. Sam Bennett takes the place of Anthony Cirelli, and I can't imagine how Anthony Cirelli feels. Also, do you understand why Sam Bennett is the person who replaces him?
Yeah, you feel for Anthony Cirelli, an opportunity to represent your country at the Olympics. It comes along every 4 years, and certainly you feel, disappointed for him. And then the flip side of this, the excitement that Sam Bennett has to be feeling after the disappointment of not being named to the team. And so you have the disappointment on one side, the excitement on the other. But when you think about the way Anthony Cirelli plays, and you think about a capable replacement, a replica, reasonable facsimile, however you want to put it, Sam Bennett is that guy. And I think that Hockey Canada has they've gone through an exhaustive process to identify players. They went through the painstaking exercise of trying to pare down their roster and then naming it, then having to deliver those phone calls to the ones not named to it. But they knew, and they know who the replacements would be, depending on an injury to a particular player at any position in any situation. So I see Sam as that player that is like just about the perfect replacement for Anthony Cirelli.
Yeah, the other candidates would have been Bedard, Scheifele, Hyman, McDavid, Salami in Edmonton, Wyatt Johnson, and others. Craig, let's talk about the Canucks for a second. They lose last night 6-2 to Utah. We've been talking a lot about this player acquired in the Quinn Hughes deal. What are your thoughts on Liam Ohgren? There's some differences of opinion here. I think he's really stood out to the point where I think the Canucks would be pretty happy with him right now. What do you think?
Well, he's a young player, Donnie, and to me, he's a third-line player. He's a third-line winger that plays like a rugged style game. He plays a hard game on the puck. He goes to the net. He creates some space, makes life uncomfortable for opponents. And because he's a smart player, he knows where to get to and when to get there. And I think those are important elements. But I think when you're looking at Liam, you have to understand what he is and what his skill set is and what attributes he brings to the team, and then celebrate those. And I think that, we look at first-round draft picks as, he first-round draft pick, he's only a third-line guy. Listen, third-line guys are really valuable in this league, and I think that Liam Ohgren can be all of that. To add to that, he's a terrific leader. He's always been a leader in his age group over in Sweden, and really respected for the way he plays. I mean, in the U18 tournament, he played like, a lot of players protect their draft status, and I'm not here to criticize that or in any way, shape, or form. But he played with a bad ankle that required, some off season rehabilitation and a procedure. But he was so dialed into helping the team and being there for the team that he played at less than 100%. But he knew that he wouldn't do anything that would be long term. But he was dialed in for the team, and I think those are qualities that are really, really important.
Craig, still with the Canucks, I want to ask you, going into a rebuild, you're the GM and you got a rebuild coming. What kind of coach is the best for a rebuild? Because we just saw Lekaramaki, no ice time in overtime. He scored a nice goal earlier in the game. Only one shift, last 12 minutes, third. He's got to be a coach that's good for young players in a rebuild. What kind of coach is the best for a rebuild in your eyes?
Yeah, and Rick, I think, like, without knowing all the circumstances that unfolded over the course of the game, why he didn't play 12 minutes, like, you can score a goal in a game and show well, and then you do some things that didn't help the team, or you don't earn the ice time to get out there. I don't know what that could be, but I think you have to allow for that. Here's, to me, the biggest thing any coach has to do with a young team and with young players coming in. There's certain things that are non-negotiable. That, like, okay, effort, making sure that we're going to stay in the competitive fight, and young players are going to be at different stages of that. But making sure that they're going to dig in, that they're going to be responsible, that they're going to really, really understand that the effort and the commitment and the competitive spirit that you display are really important. Players are going to develop in different ways. So if players are doing that and they make mistakes, you correct them, you help them correct them, you help them understand what they are, and then you help them move forward, then that's what you got to do. And I've seen many examples over the course of years and years and years of coaches who do that really well and coaches who don't do it so well. But I think that's got to be mandatory. If I'm the manager, that's what I'm telling the coach. Hey, listen, if we're developing a player, put him in that position and then make him accountable. But if he's green and he's not quite ready and we have him up here, it's a reason why. Be patient with that process. You don't have to let him go on the details in the competitive area. That, to me, is what you got to do. Because if you don't do that, you're not helping the player develop.
Well, let's stay with this. Look at Rick Tocchet getting a lot of heat in Philly, Craig, with the way he's handling Matvei Michkov. He's getting it from the media, the fans, and now the president and the GM said, hey, we got to play the kids. What do you think of what's going on with Tocchet?
Well, I think the problem with Rick is that Matvei Michkov showed up in camp out of shape. He said, I had an injury, I couldn't train. So he didn't tell anybody that he had an injury. Shows up in camp out of shape. And then he plays with what I would call a laissez-faire attitude. And if Keith Jones and Danny Briere are not supporting Rick Tocchet in terms of how he's handling Michkov and making him earn it, he's lost every player on the team. And more importantly, you lose credibility as an organization. You got to back your coach there. And again, Rick is a guy that's going to dig in and help the players in terms of understanding, play hard, dig in, be competitive. You might get overwhelmed at times, but if you're in the battle, you're in the fight, you're okay. Michkov is now just starting to realize, this league's a little bit hard. I'm a high pick. I better be careful here about trying to be laissez-faire, because the problems that afflict Matvei Michkov are self-inflicted. He's done it to himself. He doesn't deserve any more than he's gotten, in my view.
Great stuff, Craig. Okay, Saturday night, Langley Event Center. My son and I went and saw the Vancouver Giants play the Kelowna Rockets, a 9-2 Rockets win. Tij Iginla had 3 goals, 3 assists for the Rockets. I thought by far the best player on the ice. 6th overall by Utah, 2024. What's he capable of at the NHL level, Craig?
I can't believe he didn't mention Joe. Didn't Joe have a goal in that game?
He did.
7 points.
Well, okay.
I'm kidding. I was joking with someone. I said, Iginla had 7 points last night. They go, what? And they didn't even think about Joe. So Tej is a terrific player. He's smart. He can score. He can make plays. Let me be simple. I don't have to go through the whole his whole resume. Bottom line is for Tej, any type of game you're in, Tej can be a real factor in it. Fast game, heavy game, skilled game, detailed game, defensive game. He can do it all, and he does it with a real serious competitive edge. A lot like his dad, and with respect to you underestimate him, you're in big trouble. And Tej is going to be a star in the National Hockey League. Of that, I have no doubt.
Barry Trotz, who replaces him in Nashville?
It's a good question. I mean, I say this often, guys. There's lots of really good candidates for any job. I think it's going to be the Nashville Predators are going to determine, what type of profile they're looking for that position. Everybody brings a different profile. What are you looking for? Are you looking for somebody that's younger? You're looking for somebody with a management background? Are you looking for somebody with a scouting background? Are you ready to give somebody that hasn't had managerial GM experience an opportunity? So I think that there's no lack. There should be no lack of interested candidates, and there's no lack of qualified candidates. And I certainly think that we can go through a long list, a short list, any type of list. But that's an attractive job, and not that jobs as a general manager of the National Hockey League aren't attractive, but I think Nashville has some good young players. I think they've established themselves as a franchise in that city that has relevancy and stature. So I think you go in there and you work with a good ownership group and a real passionate fan base. You have a chance for success.
Craig, thanks for this. Love the hat, and we look forward to. We'll be talking Olympics next week.
Yeah.
A lot about the Olympics next week. We look forward to that, and congrats on the nice weather in Calgary.
Yeah. I'll send you pictures Thursday of my ski.
Just rub it right in.
Tweet it out.
Yeah. Thanks, Craig.
See ya.